Everybody, it's Mr Veale here, head teacher at Wood Primary Academy, and today is Friday the 25th of September, and yes, we finally got to the season of autumn, and don't we know about it, the weather has certainly changed, hasn't it? And we've been feeling a lot colder, and we have got wet on the gate in the morning and going home again. And bit of an update from last week, we had my new weather forecasting piece of equipment, and here it is. I've got it here. If you watched last week, we had this one, and we wanted to see how accurate it was, and if the man is out, it suggests that it's wet weather, and if the lady is out, it suggests dry weather. And as you can see, it has indeed changed, and the man is out. And looking at the weather today, that's pretty accurate, so I'm pleased with that one. I will keep you updated. Stay tuned, there's lots coming up in this one for mums and dads. We'll get going with that straight away. So first thing in the newsletter, I said about uniform. Please do make sure that your child is smartly dressed in the morning, and I'm looking down at my screen here. Obviously there is a change in season, and so some of you may be going over from putting your child in a summer uniform to a winter uniform. Don't forget there is a link on our website to our current uniform policy. And one thing that we're really tightening up on this term is making sure that shirts are tucked in. Even coming up the drive in the morning, they need to be tucked in. This also applies to PE shirts. So the t-shirts must be tucked into either the blue shorts or the blue jogging trousers at all times. That's to ensure that the children are looking smart, and also we don't have any loose clothing that could get trapped on apparatus. A note on haircuts, mums and dads. I know it was great when the barbers and the hairdressers opened after lockdown for that bit of tidy up, but just a note, Atwood does not allow extreme haircuts. Please also take note of the information about scrunchies and hairbands. And in the newsletter I've said that haircuts shouldn't have any mark shaved into them. Hair gel may be used to keep hair tidy, but not for fashion and styling. Hair that touches the shoulder or longer must be tied back, which also helps prevent head lice, and that applies to both boys and girls. And children may wear blue, white or plain hairbands or a scrunchie, or one made out of the blue gingham summer dress material, or a plain narrow Alice band. Plain clips may be worn, but no extras stuck onto them, please. And remember, no beads, please, because they might get caught in things like apparatus for PE as well. Now, I know it's been really popular that children are allowed to come in their PE kits. They see that as a bit of a privilege, and we just want to make sure that as they're wearing these at least 2 times a week, and it is actually school uniform, that they're looking really smart. So don't forget, as the weather gets colder, it is navy blue joggers, not leggings. And don't forget, you can buy an Atwood zipper or an Atwood hoodie, which is really popular with the kids. They think they're very comfortable, and I have to agree, they look really smart. Thanks as ever, mums and dads, for your support of uniform. It really does make the difference, and supports the school, and also encourages our children to have good levels of self-respect and self-discipline. And you know what? It really does make us stand out from other local schools, I'm sure, because our children by and large are very smart and very tidy. So more coming up in a moment. Okay, back again, and there will be some adaptations for the morning drop-off starting from Monday the 28th of September. So this one's in response to some concerns around the congestion around the pedestrian crossing, and so we have decided to introduce a couple of slight amendments, nothing too drastic. I don't want to just throw everything up in the air again, because I know how hard it is for parents to get into the groove into the morning, thinking about timings and so on. So here we go. Please note that timings are not going to change. They are going to remain the same, so don't worry there. But from Monday the 28th of September, years 5 and 6 pupils who walk in independently which should be the vast majority, should enter via the Tandridge Gate. So that's the small gate at the rear of our school. There should be no parents or any other children using this entrance, please. So that's only children in years 5 and 6. So let's deal with the fact that you might be a parent of a year 5 and 6 child with a younger sibling, and you might all walk in together. So you are not allowed to use the Tandridge Gate. You're to come in normal time as published before by the Limpsfield Road Gate. So I reiterate, it is only children coming in years 5 and 6 up the Tandridge Gate. No parents are allowed. So why are we doing this? Well, that will mean that there will be 60 less children using the Limpsfield Road Gate, and also we'll cut down on any parents of years 5 and 6 pupils who have walked their children to school and want to say goodbye to them at the gate. So they will now be located, those parents, in the Tandridge area. So it should be better for us. Now let's have a look. So those years 5 and 6 pupils, when they leave at the end of the school day, they are to go out as they have normally been going out, which is down the Limpsfield Road Gate. So they're to come in Tandridge and go Limpsfield, so we don't compromise our one-way system. Okay, moans and groans, here we go. You know what I'm going to say about the Methodist car park. We have no right to park in the Methodist car park. It is not permitted. This is causing many issues because it is a real hazard. Drivers expecting to drive into the Methodist car park right by the pedestrian crossing. So that means that not only are parents having to pay attention with their children crossing, they're also having to pay attention to drivers going into the Methodist car park when they shouldn't be. It's just causing so much upset, I have to say, within the school community. So if you are one of those people who are parking in the Methodist car park, please can I politely remind you that you're not meant to be. Thank you. Also, sadly, not really in my job description as head teacher, but I'm more than happy to do it, is that I had to stop at least 5 parents this morning who dropped their children off on the white zigzag lines by the pedestrian crossing. And so there are specific laws about zigzag lines, and they are drivers must not park, drop off or overtake in these areas, as parking would block the view for pedestrians and oncoming traffic. So please do not do that. I have today been in contact with not only highways but also parking at Croydon Council, and they are going to arrange a site visit, and they are coming down with their enforcement cameras. So just a polite kind of warning there. I hate getting heavy with mums and dads, but do you know what? The only reason I'm doing it is because the lives of our little ones and our children are at stake, because there's a lot going on down there, and I want to be satisfied that we're doing everything we can to keep children safe in and around that pedestrian crossing, even though it's not on our school site. So there we go, moans and groans over and done with. I really do hope we can pull together as a community on this one. Thank you very much. I thought I'd give you a bit of an update about sport and PE at Atwood. So really, we know that sport and PE hopefully is integral to our school and is of course part of the national curriculum. So we aim to offer high quality PE and a curriculum that inspires all of our children to succeed and excel in competitive sport and other physical activities. So we would like our children to become physically confident in a way that supports their health, fitness and mental well-being. Now, it's been a bit of a funny one because we've had lockdown, haven't we? And then after lockdown, we've come back and we've had to be in our protective bubble. So we know that many of the children may not have had the opportunities to exercise in the same way that they would have done at school from March really through to September. So with this in mind, you will know that we're going to be continuing our daily mile. And the reason we're doing that is because we want to build up fitness and stamina, because the Chief Medical Officer recommends that children and young people should engage in moderate to vigorous intensity physical activity for an average of nearly 60 minutes. Sorry, I shouldn't say nearly, I should say at least 60 minutes per day across the week. So this can include all forms of activity such as physical education or PE, active travel, so walking, cycling and scooting to school, after school activities. Now that's always going to be a bit of a problematic one because we're not offering so many clubs, but also through play and sports in school. So what are we doing then? Well, we know that this academic year is not going to be not going to be as same as the years before, because we've got a really good tradition of matches, competitions, entering festivals and so on. And we also have a good tradition of offering some extracurricular clubs for the children. But we are aiming really to hopefully introduce more inter-school competitions. So that could be inter-bubble, it could be inter-class, it could be inter-house competition as time allows. But we've got to be really careful that we don't mix bubbles. So I'm hoping that the future for sport is still very, very bright, and that the children are regaining some of their physical fitness and their enjoyment from leading active and healthy lives. I just wanted to give you a quick update. There we go. Now, I mentioned there inter-house competitions. Sometimes we refer to them as houses, sometimes we refer to them as teams, but the two are interchangeable. So you should know by now, by your children, that your child is in either air or fire or water or earth. So our elements, so our teams or our houses are named after some elements. So there we go. So here we go. So team points for this week are air 77 team points, fire 75, water 62 and earth 58. So congratulations this week to air team or air house, 77 house points. Congratulations and keep up the good work. Okay, here's a news roundup from the Friends of Atwood Primary Academy, or the FOAP, so fireworks. Unfortunately, FOAP have had to make a very tough decision to cancel the fireworks event on the 7th of November due to the recent COVID announcements, and of course they've had continued communication with the Met Police, and it seems the right thing to do, of course. So issues for refunds will be taking place as we speak. And then also taken the tough decision not to hold our annual Christmas fair. However, FOAP are planning a number of online and in-school fundraising events in the run-up to Christmas, so watch out for those. Now, Pre-Love uniform. If you wish to purchase Pre-Love uniform, there is a link in the newsletter this week. Uniform is then delivered to the school and will be sent to you via your child, so look out for that one. I can't believe it. Barely seems as though August has gone and I'm whittering on about Christmas cards, but nonetheless, here we go. So let's have a look. Yes, next week, all of the children will be designing a Christmas card which will be sent home by the end of the week. On the reverse is an order form you have for your child's design to be turned into a Christmas card, a postcard, a fridge magnet, and or a key ring. Every order raises money for the Friends of Atwood Primary. There is a minimum order of £4 per design required by the company supporting the project. So here are the details. Please return the sheet, the design sheet with the order form completed on the reverse to the class teacher by the end of Thursday the 8th of October. Alternatively, a plastic box will be placed under the school post box in the main entrance for you to put them in. The payment can be made online. All the details are in the newsletter. Okay, so that's a good one and a good fundraising event for everybody. Now, what are glow items? So let's find out. We are now, so that's the FOAP, now offering our glow items for sale via Ticket Tailor. Great for celebrating fireworks night at home or as stocking fillers. And there is a link below. In the newsletter, donations, everybody. You would have noticed that if you want to donate any items to the FOAP, please do so by using the wonderfully looking brown box which is situated under Mrs. Dobson's desk, and it actually says FOAP donations on it. So this applies to any items such as donations of uniform and anything else the FOAP may have requested for fundraising events. So that's all news from the FOAP. Now, packed lunches, everybody. I have the pleasure of doing many of the duties in the packed lunch hall, and I know that you go to a great deal of effort and trouble to provide your child with some very tasty and healthy packed lunches, so well done. But we are a nut-free school, okay? So we cannot have items such as Nutella and pesto. I'm really sorry, guys, but we just simply can't. We appreciate that it can be tedious checking the tiny print on ingredients labels, but it is to keep some of our children who are prone to nut allergies very safe. We do not want an incident of anaphylaxis. So thanks for all of your support on that. Listen, it's been a long one, but thank you. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye, everybody.